Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another live league game of the day. Today we are playing on Shackinated. This is a standard matchup, I believe, tier 2. Now recently Kindle, she has moved into tier 2, so she is fighting against a lot bigger fish these days. She's out of tier 3 into the tier 2, folks. That's due to her change. Now today we have Hugtern and WigglySausage. Now these are a little bit too lower rated players when it comes to the live league, but I thought it was an interesting game, mostly because I really want to see how Kindle is going to be against the bigger fish of tier 2. Now hopefully this will be a good one. Now as we know, let's start off with Max. Max gets the day-to-day of 120% for his firepower on his direct combat units, gets a negative penalty to his range by 1, and negative 10% firepower. So his range is incredibly ineffective, would not suggest it, don't do it, don't buy him, just avoid. Avoid it at all costs. Alright, now his co-power max force will increase his movement by 1 and increase the firepower of his direct combat units by, or up to 30%. So pretty effective overall. Max blast, same thing, plus 2 movement and 150% firepower. So it's very, very good. Very easy to use in the live league. Now, sometimes Max will actually go up to tier 1 when it comes to live league matches, but that's normally on base light maps. So this one is not a base light map. So I think that's why he might be allowed a little bit in tier 2 instead of tier 3. Tier 1. Blah. Anyways, we also have Kindle. So Kindle gets a day-to-day bonus of 140% firepower on urban terrain. That includes cities, HQs, and I believe now like comm towers and maybe missile silos, but I'm not sure. Can't remember. It doesn't matter. Either way, incredible firepower. But her co-power will, it's Urban Blight. It is a 3-star co-power. It'll do a 3 damage globally to anything sitting on a urban terrain, so it can be very, very effective, especially when it comes to like fun draining or fun sapping your opponent. If they decide to build something really, really big and then you pop an urban blight, well, they got no money left. So nobody really wants to be living in a world where they got no money, but yeah, maybe that's the reality these days. Alrighty, so in addition to that, her high society co-power or super co-power will increase her firepower bonus to like 130% on cities, but it will also give her a 3% bonus firepower per city owned. So let's say you own 20 cities, that's an extra 60% firepower. So it can be very, very effective across the board, especially with a lot of these maps. You know, a lot of them go past like the 20 property threshold, so it can actually make it so the high society can be really, really effective. Situationally, of course. Now, due to that change, I'm really curious to see how a matchup like this is going to actually go down. Now, I have actually played against Kindle with like some higher level COs like an Olaf. I remember a long time ago I had a video where I fought Tordred in a tournament, and it was a weird tournament with weird rules where you had to, like, you know, pick certain COs and you had a limited choice, and if you chose one, you couldn't use it before or afterwards. So yeah, we ended up doing an Olaf versus Kindle match. I still lost, but I think I held my own for quite a bit of time, so is what it is. But yeah, Kindle, I think she's pretty effective still. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one and see what went down between Hugtern and the WigglySausage. Alrighty, so day 1, we all know what happens on day 1, folks. It's the standard infantry builds. Gotta get the infantry on the field. If you don't, then you're gonna lose. That's just what's gonna happen, folks. Both players are going for those neutral bases, though. Absolutely priority number 2, aside from just getting the infantry on the field. Relatively like the same movements at the moment. I mean, it looks like WigglySausage is going a little bit ahead, grabbing one of these properties next to the HQ, but I mean, not really much of a difference. I would say that they're a little bit further ahead economy-wise. You know, having this city right now is probably pretty big. This will allow you to move into the middle very, very quickly and actually start securing properties here. And if Kindle secures properties in the center, then it makes it very difficult for the opponent to actually grab cities over here. But Hugtern being the max player, you know, we do have 2-hit potential on cities with our direct combat units. even without the comm towers. So I think Max is a pretty good matchup for Kindle on the day-to-days. I mean, Max has a very, very effective day-to-day ability, right? But so does Kindle. Kindle's is more of a defensive day-to-day ability. Okay, we're back, folks. Fixing things on the fly. Anyways, where was I? Saying something about Max's day-to-day ability being really, really good. Yeah, it tends to be pretty good. Kindle's is more of a defensive power. You know, she is defensively good. She holds terrain really well. So she holds properties really well. She makes it very, very difficult for the opponent to get properties once the combat actually does start. But, you know, I think Max is a pretty good matchup for her. Alrighty, so now both players have captured all their properties. This is actually a 2 comm tower map too, so it's kind of interesting because Max will have a 140% firepower on these direct combat units, but Kindle will have like 160% firepower on cities, so it can be pretty brutal indeed. Alright, looks like we got some units moving up here. Not really much else that the WigglySausage is able to do at the moment. Looks like we had money in the bank. We had 8K in the bank, but it wasn't enough to buy a full amount of units. So it looks like he just decided not to buy a tank this turn. Brings this tank all the way up here by the comm tower, which I think is pretty cheeky indeed. It's going to make it so Max is going to be unable to acquire this comm tower unless he invests heavily in units over here. So, interesting stuff. And he's not able to, like, go up really, really far. Because he would only be able to go up to the city. Tank might be able to, like, sit somewhere over here. But Kindle's going to be able to have access to that urban terrain, right? So, it would be difficult for Max to be able to hit that, and this guy's not a direct reinforcement to any attack that would happen from this property, so it's pretty risky to actually push up there at the moment. And it looks like Kindle is pushing up pretty hard over here on the right hand side. Hugtern going for a double property cap in the center, as well as going for that one neutral property over here. Very nice. Looks like we might be getting access to the airport here pretty soon. Airport's very effective against Kindle. Yeah, nothing more needs to be said about that. Alright, so, ouch. Yep, that was gonna happen. Yep, for sure. Understandably so, we are blocking that comm tower, taking a big shot on the infantry, and it looks like we are actually acquiring a cap right now. So, this is just like a little thing, right? But, I mean, we notice a move like this, right? We go in for the cap, but if you walk into a situation where you're not necessarily covered very well and you have 1, 2, 3 units right beside you, especially a tank against a Kindle, it's very risky to put your infantry anywhere even close to that. It would actually be more beneficial for you to bring your infantry over to another area, like bring them over to the center and then fight over the center and try to avoid this guy for now. You could actually bring your tanks all the way over here and then fight for this comm tower instead. Might be a little bit better. But the only thing that's going to happen in this situation here is you're just going to lose an infantry, and then you're going to be a 1 unit behind overall. So, as we can see, that is kind of what happened here. But we do have 4 tanks on the field. Kindle does also have 4 tanks on the field, but I still favor Max's tanks overall. Alright, we are going to interrupt that 6-6 trade. That is incredibly oh no, that's incredibly common for Max, or for fighting Kindle in general. So we go up and we take a shot on the infantry right here. It looks like we went in to actually clear it and took a shot at the the full HP one over here. Full HP tank. So I guess it's not like necessarily too bad. I think overall, because like tank on this position would probably be able to clear that, but we do have an extra tank over here, so I think overall it's like not too bad of an attack actually. But Kindle is going to have access to that comm tower very, very quickly, and that will increase her firepower to 160% on urban terrain. So technically this 5 HP guy could take a shot on this guy right here, and it would be very close to an even trade. Now, we don't take the shot, but I think that would have been pretty close to an even trade. But that's a pretty devastating attack too. It looks like the infantry might be able to finish it up here. Quite possibly. Are we going to take the luck roll? No, we are going to clear some infantry over in the middle. Now, Hugtern did manage to cap those 2 properties in the middle, which is very, very good for him. We do get the infantry clear over here on this property. This does allow for a 2-shot KO on this unit right here. Possibly block it out with the... or block the urban terrain out with the 6 HP infantry. However, that would be a guaranteed kill with the 120% firepower. At least highly likely that it would probably be taken out. And it does look like Hugtern has a fairly good attack on these infantry over here. It might even be more worthwhile. Take the tank and take out these 4 infantry right here rather than go over here. But I mean, Max, you know, he does want to take out the tanks. He wants to thrive in the tank game. I would have taken the shot from the urban terrain first. You would take a lot less counter damage. It would probably at least make one of your tanks be 8 HP. That's what I think would happen. Yeah, 8 HP tank. But this is okay too. I mean, it's not necessarily terrible because this tank will cover this tank over here. And yeah, we had a nice attack on the guys in the middle here. Fairly good overall, fairly good trades. We are approaching urban blight territory right now, so it might be a little bit sketchy pretty soon. If we get like maybe 2 tank attacks, it'll be very likely that we'll have urban blight. That will completely cripple those 2 infantry in the middle here. It'll stop this cap over here. It'll stop this guy. Well, not stop him, but it'll injure him. It'll injure that. It'll injure that. And it'll injure that. Like, it's going to be a massive urban blight if we do manage to get it here. And I'm pretty sure that we are just like 2 attacks away. Like 7k, it's not overly difficult to get 7k with like 2 tank strikes. But maybe we're not going to go for it today. Alright, we're going to build a battlecopter. Cool. Battlecopter is great too. I mean, I'm pretty sure you still get the offensive bonus from urban terrain with the battlecopter, so insanely effective. Insanely effective. Alright. Clearing an infantry over here in the middle. Oh no. See, this is one thing that's like super difficult about fighting Kindle, is you have to sometimes make these choices, right? I don't think Kindle's going to be able to get the urban blade. Maybe, I mean, 4,000, it's not like impossible for her to get the urban blade at this moment, but you really got to watch out where you're putting your tanks for your heals when the urban blade's coming. Now, it looks like WigglySausage, our Kindle player, is actually coming in with an artillery, so very interesting. Incredibly strong front over here on the comm tower. Now, that's going to be very difficult to dislodge. Not impossible. Technically, I think that this tank and this tank will definitely clear this. We could come in with the anti-air, but the anti-air is definitely priority number 1 is the little old battlecopter right here. So pretty risky, but not like impossible. We can actually get like a okay attack if we actually front shift back here and attack here, but I'm not sure if that's necessarily the best move. Alright, we are going for the comm tower. Very nice. Alright, so no, we got to get off the train. Off the train. Got to get off of the train. When Kindle is this close to urban blight, you do not sit on terrain. That is not what we want to be doing. The only thing that that's going to do is it's going to weaken this guy to 6. It's going to weaken this guy to 7. And unless we block this terrain, these guys are coming in, and that's a KO. And that's also a KO. Like, very, very close to a KO at least. Like, these guys are just going to walk up here and just walk right over these guys if Kindle uses that co-power. Like, hands down. No, and we're sitting on more terrain. No, 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 no. We don't do that. No, no. Don't do it. Fighting Kindle, super close to urban blight, no terrain, no urban terrain. You stay away from the urban terrain. It's bad. It's bad. You don't go there. It's a terrible place. You don't want to be there. So if she gets urban blight here, it's gonna be like big. Yeah, we're trying for Urban Blight too. We're just going for infantry. All right, WigglySausage pops it. 82,000 value right now. Oh, all the way down to 72. That's 10k value from a single Urban Blight. Oh my god, and look at all the property, or look at all the guys that are on cities right now. Oh, the repair bills. Is this a clear? Yeah, that's a clear. That's clear. Yeah, see? We don't want to do that. That's bad. So, hindsight, stay far away from properties when the Urban Blight is coming. Hugtern, Mr. Max over here, does have access to his co-power. That's wow. We're going for the max blast. All right, what can we do with the max blast? We might be able to pull off something. This guy could front shift all the way over here and take this guy out. And we might be able to get a few more shots here. We do have some tank shots here, so let's see what we managed to do here. Yeah, go right for that. Right for that that tank in the middle. Nice. Very nice move right there. Not too shabby indeed. I would love it if we were able to put something on this city now, though, in order to block this battlecopter, but I don't think we really have anything, like, too available. No, there's nothing available for us to actually go for that move. Alright, that's perfectly fine. All in all, not really too bad. Had to sack a little bit to get there, right? We end the turn a little bit lower value than the WigglySausage here. I do believe that the next turn is going to be pretty bad, but the nice thing about this is we get the comp tower, we get a property, just double check that, yeah. So we get the comp tower, we get the property, and I think we get this. We should be able to acquire all three of these properties right here. Might be able to acquire this property, but I mean, we can maybe take it. No, we can't. We're going to get that property. Cool. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything he's going to be able to do to acquire that, but that's a massive shot right here. Ouch. But Kindle is trying to flip a few other properties on the map, so it's looking pretty interesting here. Tries to go for a full surround, but doesn't quite have the right amount of units in order to do this. No, never mind. So if the infantry moves right here, that would actually be a full surround. Doesn't do it though. Okay, so not necessarily terrible, but I mean, if you're going for the full surround, you might as well put the unit right here so that this tank literally can't move, because this tank is just going to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll be able to go like right here and then attack your infantry, or maybe even attack this. I don't know. Probably just the infantry, I think. So that's okay. But yeah, this guy is going to be able to escape, so no problem. And then the battlecopter should be able to do some business over here pretty soon. Lots of weakened tanks over here from our max player at the moment. Not super feeling those guys, so we'll see what happens. But it is his turn, and boom, we get 3 properties. We're sitting at 4 properties. Ooh, beautiful. So max is now sitting at 20k. 20k, 2 comp towers. This game is split even now. It is okay. Everything is fine. Not even, because technically he's winning, but it's okay. We do need some anti-airs on the field though. Yeah, okay, it's going double anti-air. And it looks like we're just doing cleanup duty. Like, literally, that's all that was. It was just cleanup duty. We're taking out a bunch of the low HP units that were floating around here. And we stopped 2 caps here, so that's very, very nice. This cap is not gonna actually go through next turn, so that's okay. Why would we move here? Oh, no. We had a perfectly viable spot right here that was not in range of an artillery. Oh, you know, it'd be like that sometimes, though. It's fine. But little things like that, you know, you got to make sure that you're watching the artillery range, especially in live. Not a lot of people will use artillery in live, but I'm saying they are good. You can definitely use them. Catch people off guard with them all the time. Like something like this, you know, you're trying to take your turns really, really fast, and you don't really have time to check the range all the time, right? But technically, these guys have like 14, like that's like a quarter of an hour. You got a quarter of an hour, right? You can do a little bit of time planning, in those instances. So, was that the battlecopter that went down? Ooh. Yeah, so we bust through and we one-shot the battlecopter. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate right there. Kindle coming in with 3 battlecopters right now is very, very spooky. I think she's ahead quite a bit on like the vehicle game. So she's got 3 tanks, 1 recon, 2 artillery, 3 battlecopters, and an anti-air. And Max has... See, Max's units are so simple. This is what I love about Max. Just 13 infantry, 6 tanks, 2 anti-air. That's it. That's all we need, folks. Who needs unit composition? Just spam out the tanks. So it is Max's turn now. I don't know what he's got available here. I mean, we don't have an answer to the battlecopters at the moment. We are going to lose this property because we won't be able to clear this guy safely. In this instance, I would let him take the city because it's not worth losing another unit to. Okay, good. Awesome. Combine all of our weakened units into a 7 HP tank and then we leave it vulnerable. But we build a classy medium tank, so all is forgiven. This is the greatest Max of all time. We have the classy medium tank on the field right now, and it is looking good, folks. It's looking good. But what is also looking good is Kindle's turn here. We do have a lot of options here, but it's a question of whether or not we want to go for it. Truthfully, I think we should abandon this area and probably go over here. That's probably what I would do. So I don't think we really want to be fighting into that. We want to keep away from the anti-airs. We want to lure the anti-airs out so we can smack them with tanks and then move our copters in right afterwards. And it looks like that's actually exactly what's happening. Leading a few units over here for sure, but front shifting the majority of the army over here. So very cool. Day 16, and what is Hugtern going to be able to do here? We are sending a couple of our infantry, and we're stopping this cap here. I'm not sure if it was really worth all those sacrifices. I guess it was 2. It was just a 2 HP infantry, so I guess it's fine. As long as that's not in potential range of a tank, I guess that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's fine. As long as the anti-air is safe, it's okay. But we got to get away from that urban terrain once again, folks. Definitely just get off of the urban terrain. Don't go anywhere near it. Not really worth it. Just stay off of the terrain. We don't want to be losing a whole bunch more funds again, because we are going to be getting urban blighted, like 100%, right? It's going to be happening. Maybe not this turn, but we might be going up for it pretty soon. This is a really interesting move. It's kind of bold, but what it's doing is it's actually blocking the airport right now. So Max is going to be unable to actually build a battlecopter out of this position. So he's going to be forced to use one of his anti-air to go up here, and one of his anti-air will have to stay down here to fight. Mostly because, like, if Max does build a copter out of this position, we're going to get urban blighted, and then that should be a clear on that unit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, yeah. This guy's safe. He's safe for now. Okay. So not really too bad of positioning over here. We do have a couple vulnerable units here, but we got a little bit of coverage. I mean, the RDs are kind of covering each other right now, which is not bad. We got tanks over here. If we are going to be striking over here, we have to strike beside urban terrain, which is going to be incredibly dangerous. And this already actually covers the anti-air right here, so not really too bad. We got the start of this battlecopter over here as well. So I think WigglySausage is actually pulling in this one pretty good so far. And he did manage to flip the income over back in his favor to 20 to 18 at the moment. About 50k ahead in unit value, but who knows? We're going to see where he's at after the max force. Max force, this is nice because we are going to be able to clear one copter here. Like, this guy should definitely go up here and clear this copter. Like, that's priority number one because we need battle copters on the field, like, hands down, 100%. With the amount of tanks that WigglySausage has at the moment, and the lack of tanks that we have, we need to take out this guy, take out another battle copter, and then we need to start spamming battle copters ourselves, like 100%. The medium tanks should be able to be effective for a little while against tanks, but eventually it will get whittled down, especially if it gets hit by an unexpected urban blight and or what? Wait. That was full movement, right? Okay, yeah, that's full movement. No, why? No. Why are we doing that? Can we get this? No, we can't. Okay. We don't use the anti-air though. Don't use the anti-air. Don't use it yet. Figure out what you can do in order to try to clear some of these guys. That's probably the best thing to do. I mean, I guess we can attack these, but we can't move in here and attack safely because he's got a tank right here. We're gonna end up just losing overall. Unless we can take out the copter, right? Which I don't think is possible. We don't have a clear for the copter. But we have a clear for that copter. No! Why? There's no reason. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just... no. No, you gotta go for the copter. You have to go for the copter. Like, why? There's no reason. You gotta go. You gotta go for the copter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Clear the copter. The copter is far more dangerous at the moment, I think. I mean, the artillery, yes, it's dangerous. But, I mean, this copter is also dangerous. Like, I think that's way more dangerous. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But the I mean, this is kind of just gonna get cleared anyways. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, let's see what happens. Boom. Tanks are moving in. Anti-air is moving in. Medium tank moves in. Oh, it's a resign. Okay, that's fine. Was there any actual way to get to these units? Technically, okay, so technically we can sacrifice right here. Sacrifice right here, then we can use this infantry and move right here, and that should clear that, right? Then with the max force, we can clear this one with this guy right here. And then if we can get a one-shot right here, a one-shot right here, then this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 2. We can get a double... yeah, actually, sacrifice here, so that moves up there. So then we have these 4 units. We can use 2 of these tanks, or 2 weakened tanks to clear this. Use the strong one to clear this. And then I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we can actually clear that. And then our units are over here, right? Backed up by the medium tank, backed up by the rest of the guys. So I don't know if that would be a game break in play or anything, but that is something that we would be able to do to sort of sustain us for a little bit longer and take out 2 battlecopters in the process. So pretty cool. All in all, not too bad of a game. Definitely showcases that Kindle is definitely strong enough to contend with tier 2 COs for sure. Yeah, and it wasn't too bad. You know what? There was actually a couple nice moves in here from both players. You know, I believe that Hugtern, when he went in for the super co-power turn, wasn't really too bad. Let's go back to that super co-power turn real quick here. So maybe a couple things could have been done a little bit differently, but like overall, did manage to do quite a bit of damage, and we secured these properties over here. And this was a really nice snipe of a unit over here too. But unfortunately, if we didn't lose this unit, I think things might have actually been played out a little bit differently too, because at the moment too, let's look at the beginning of this turn right here. So, I mean, Max is down a little bit for sure, but he's got 7 tanks to 4 tanks and 3 battlecopters. So if we start pumping out a couple anti-airs, we are ahead in the tank game. So we can do like tank anti-air for a little while, and might be able to like contend with this for a little while. I guess his tanks are like fairly injured though, so maybe not. But either way, I think both players did pretty well. I'm excited to see what they have in store for the future. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.